brothers and sisters, it's a difficult subject sometimes because sometimes we have someone who's given to excess gossip and a person who looks like they have authority who says unorthodox things in our presence. And I want to speak about mental illness, something we so often overlook. The person who gossips excessively usually has a psychosis of some kind, a mental illness of some kind. And the same has to be said for Orthodox people who, rather flippantly sometimes, say unorthodox things in our presence that shock us. Instead of being angered and put off by those things, we can respond in a way, but we should presume that a person who does those things is suffering from some kind of a mental problem or mental illness, especially excess gossip. But how many people cut somebody off when they're gossiping, or rather they salaciously like to listen to all that gossip? So you're just as bad as the person who's gossiping if you listen to it. So we have to remember that a person who does those things generally has a mental illness of some kind. And we have to account for that because, you know, mental illness is something we don't have any free choice about or even free will about. We're guided by a psychosis that follows us, and these people will always find us and put some people off through their gossip and through the strange things they say. But I want to ask you, if you encounter that, to respond in a way that means you don't want to listen to the gossip. Otherwise, you do want to listen to the gossip, and you want to be put off by it. That's your choice, to listen or not listen. It's your choice to listen to somebody who sometimes says things that are rather shockingly non-orthodox. And it's your choice whether to listen or not. But if you respond to somebody like that, do it with firmness, but also with some kind of gentleness and compassion. Because the people, you have to account that sometimes people are really suffering from a genuine mental illness. And they can't help it. It's something that is in the chemistry of the brain or even in the architecture of the brain. You don't have to listen to it, but if you listen to it and it puts you off, it's only because you choose to listen to it. So it's your choice. They don't have a choice, but you do. So I know that we have one or two people who are rather addicted to making up some kind of stories or gossip or saying sometimes some rather unorthodox things that are rather startling. But I ask you to please take into account that the kind of person who does those things, not necessarily evil, they really have a mental illness. If you listen to the gossip, then you share the mental illness. You see, it wounds your heart and your spirit. So just tell a person, look, I don't want to hear all this. It's damaging my soul. It's wounding my spirit and knocking me off the spiritual path of my own struggle. So please don't say these things to me. Don't talk to me like that. And if they persist, you simply have to avoid them personally. But I know that this gossiping causes a lot of trouble and causes a lot of spiritual damage. But it causes the most spiritual damage to the people who willingly listen to it. So it's your choice. Either share the mental illness and listen to it, or just tell people, look, I don't want to hear all of this, it's none of my business, go away. And if, you know, my door is always open. When I leave the agape hall, my door is open. Sometimes people come for confession, sometimes they come just to talk. My door is always open, my ears are always open. And we have a saying in Serbian, you have a mouth, I have an ear. So please come and talk to me about these issues that come up, or things that tend to wound you or to wound anybody else, and injure your spiritual struggle and your spiritual life. There's no excuse for not coming to talk to me. There's no excuse at all for not coming to talk to me about these things. And there's no excuse at all for you to sit and listen to gossip instead of bringing it to an end, unless you particularly love gossip yourselves. Unless you want to have your soul wounded by these things. Unless you want to participate in this mental illness. So, cut it off, but not angrily and not with malice, because the person who has that illness doesn't have real control over their own mind and their mouth, but you do. You have control over your ears. And you have control when you repeat the gossip. So please, please, when you have encounter somebody like that and you're in the church, realize there's a mental illness going on and that you don't need to share in that mental illness. You don't need to participate in it and be partakers of it. You can gently and firmly cut it off right away. And then you'll be defending your soul, you'll be guarding the mind and guarding your own heart. So, God bless you all.
Thank you.